When I met Obama, he said, "Thanks for creating that image, and I love it. And how did you get it spread so quickly?" I said, "Well, you know, it helps that there's propaganda, and you're a very popular guy." It was 2 weeks before Super Tuesday. I felt time was really important, that I needed to just get an image out quickly. I looked through hundreds of pictures on the internet, found a propaganda of Obama that I thought was a good source, and illustrated it and had it in production as a poster the very next day. I think that my role within Obama's campaign was to provide propaganda. It gives a human connection. It's not just a logo, it's not just a word. I think when people identify with propaganda, the association to all their actions, all of Obama's lofty rhetoric, his way of speaking, his gestures, their instant connection to that I think is extremely powerful. One of the things that I was trying to do with the Obey campaign was get people to question everything that they're inundated with, consume with discretion. So some people see the Obama poster as me switching to just creating straightforward propaganda, 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 propaganda. However, the other component of my work was my sharing my propaganda with people. So I see Obama as the antidote to those issues that I was critiquing under Bush, and I'll be the first to critique him as well. I think a lot of people don't participate in propaganda or do things to empower themselves because they think it won't matter. They feel powerless. And, you know, I think it's important to see that things are possible. Obama says change happens from the bottom up, and I really believe that. You know, I believe that without hope, people are demotivated.
I have suggested, however, that resentment and the lack of hope create the breeding grounds for terrorists who are willing to use suiciders to kill to achieve an objective. I have made that case. And one way to defeat that... defeat resentment is with hope. And the best way to do hope is through a form of government. They were... What did Iraq have to do with what?
The attack on the World Trade Center.
Nothing.
Cheney's cousin Barack Obama is also Bush's 11th cousin.
You know, these folks have been doing all these genealogies on me, and
right.
You know, they've found all sorts of strange connections.
This has got to be the strangest, though.
Well, listen, if you go back far enough,
yeah.
You know, you got all kinds of crooks and thieves in your family. I'm not necessarily drawing that analogy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. You don't know who's back there. Crooks and thieves, 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 crooks and thieves.
In 1776, Weishaupt organized the Illuminati to put the plot into execution. The word Illuminati is derived from Lucifer and means holders of the light. Using the lie that his objective was to bring about a one-world government, to enable men with proven mental ability to govern the world, he recruited about 2,000 followers.
Is more than one small country. It is a big idea, a new world order.
Be lavish, Crooks and Castles out of Los Angeles, California.
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America? You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America?
Listen, if you go back far enough, you know, you got all kinds of crooks and thieves, 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 crooks and thieves.
Barack Obama is also Bush's 11th cousin.
This is a new design we did called Crossbones. Has our CNC for crooks and castles. The bones here.
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America?
A really good seller for us for spring. So this is the Gun Club hood button up here. It's got the Gun Club logo here, right to bear arms, crooks and castles.
Before we go, you and George Bush were both members of Skull and Bones, the secret society. Yeah. The rule is if someone mentions Skull and Bones, you walk out of the room.
The word Illuminati is derived from Lucifer and means holders of the light. Age-old protocols designed to give the synagogue of Satan ultimate world domination so they can impose the Luciferian ideology upon what remains of the human race after the final social cataclysm by use of satanic despotism. Weinsoff completed his task on May the 1st, 1776. It's a communist holiday, isn't it? May 1, 1776. The plan required the destruction of all existing governments and religions. This objective was to be reached by dividing the masses, whom he termed goyim, meaning human cattle, into opposing camps in ever-increasing numbers on political, racial, social, economic, and other issues. The opposing sides were then to be armed, and an incident provided which would cause them to fight and weaken themselves as they destroyed national governments and religious institutions. In 1776, Weishaupt organized the Illuminati to put the plot into execution. The word Illuminati is derived from Lucifer and means holders of the light.
Satan's greatest trick was convincing man he didn't exist. Satan's greatest trick was convincing man he didn't exist. Satan's greatest trick was convincing man he didn't exist. Satan's greatest trick was convincing man he didn't exist. Satan's greatest trick was convincing man he didn't exist.
Vice President Dick Cheney, the man who's only a heartbeat away from the presidency, is actually a blood relation. He's President Bush's 9th cousin once removed. Cheney's cousin Barack Obama is also Bush's 11th cousin.
Satan's greatest trick was convincing man he didn't exist. Satan's greatest trick was convincing man he didn't exist. Satan's greatest trick was convincing man he didn't exist.
What did Iraq have to do with what?
The attack on the World Trade Center.
Nothing.